Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it. So as the title suggests, I'm going to be duping the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I was recently asked in my comments by a beautiful subscriber and friend, Morag, what I thought of it and if I could dupe that palette within my own collection. And I got to think about it, maybe I could dupe it within my Natasha Denona palettes because I've got quite a lot. In total 10, so I've got like 6 bigger ones and 4 of the smaller ones. So what I learned whilst I was doing this is the smaller ones aren't magnetic. So I was kind of a bit all over the place about that because I really wanted to use some shades from some of those palettes, but I couldn't because I wasn't messing about with heat to try and get them out of the palettes. I want to keep them as they are, so I'm not going to depot them. But I have depotted the midis and also the bigger palettes to create this Yucca palette. Just remember, it is duping the vibes, but I feel like I've got really close. If you like these kind of videos of duping the vibes, I do them often. I will put a few in the video so you can go and check them out. I think the last one I duped was the Alice in Wonderland one, and the one before it was the Snow White one, both from Colourpop. But this is the higher end one I've duped since duping the Natasha Denona pastel palette. I'm going to put in the video as many duping the vibe palettes as I possibly can because I know some of you guys are on a budget like myself. If you are on a budget, it's difficult to think about spending £64 on a palette. The colour story for the Natasha Denona Yucca palette is beautiful. What I don't like about it and what's put me off buying it is it's a £15 palette, right? And you get 10 mattes. 10 mattes. I've gone through all my other Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes and nowhere in those palettes do you get 10 mattes. I like an equal shimmer to matte ratio. I mean, I don't mind if it goes over, like, I don't know, like 8 mattes, but I certainly don't like 10 to 5 shimmers. I feel also like I've made my palette better than the Yucca palette just because I've used some more expensive palettes. I've used some of the more expensive palettes like the Triochrome and the Gold, and they're like £111 palettes, I think. So yeah, I wanted to put some shades in from those palettes, and then the rest are just from other Natasha Denona palettes. The only ones that I've used, so primarily I wanted to use all Natasha Denona palettes, but in some of the shades, because there's so many mattes, I just couldn't find them. And I feel like once I've used it for a week or so, I'm probably going to take some of the mattes out and put some other shimmers in from my other Natasha Denona palettes, maybe 2 more, and then I'll have like 8 mattes and 7 shimmers. So anyway, we're just going to get into it. So the other palettes that I've used are 2 Colourpop ones, and that's just for 2 shades. So I managed to dupe the 13 shades out of the 15. Then I took to looking into my Colourpop collection for the other 2 shades. So I don't think I did a bad job, but I didn't dupe the entire palette from my Natasha palette collection. Anyway, the intro's going on a little bit long. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me, and let's go and see what I created. As I said in the intro, I was asked about my thoughts on the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, and I have got thoughts on that, which I will have explained in the intro, so we're not going to discuss that too much here. I'm actually filming this part first. I'll do the intro later on and add it in. So I was asked what I thought about that palette, and I was asked also if I could dupe it within my collection, so that's what we're going to be doing today, mainly with Natasha Denona palettes. So we need the Zendo one first. And then there's 2 shades from the Colourpop Fade Into Hue. So 5 palettes we'll be going into. And yes, it's excessive. And it's not going to be an exact match. I'm going to do you the swatches. It's not going to be an exact match, guys. The only way you're going to get an exact match, because you don't know what the shades really look like, even when you've seen them on like these influencers, these creators that are showing you the swatches. They've got lighting on them, so you don't know exactly what they're gonna look like unless you was to swatch them yourself, or unless you had the palette and you could do a comparison. At this moment in time, I'm not buying makeup, you know, unless it's very inexpensive, like the like the BH Cosmetics party in Puerto Rico. That was like £8, and that was a wishlist item. I'm not buying it, so I'm not going to be spending £64 on getting a palette to compare it. So I'm just going to dupe the Vibes. It is very, very similar. I've already put it into a palette. We're going to put it into this one. This one is where I keep my Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson kind of retro shades. It's the biggest one I've got. I do need to get some more of these. It's very dull, guys, and I'm sorry about that. It's yeah, we're gonna do that. I need to get the magnet, so let me just get that. Right, so that's the beautiful palette, guys. It really, really is stunning. This one is the Natasha Denona Zendo. So that's what she looks like. Mine's been used quite a bit. So we're going to start off with this palette. There's quite a few shades from this palette, actually. There's a couple of shades, like I said to you earlier, that I'm having to get from Colourpop Fade Into Hue, but it's just 2. And that's just because I don't have those shades within my Natasha Denona collection. I wanted to try and dupe the entire palette, or as close as I could, like in duping the Vibes of the Yucca palette within my Natasha Denona collection, but I couldn't do it. I kind of failed at that, but I only failed by 2 eyeshadows. And I think what I'm going to be doing anyway, once I've duped it, because I don't like it, the reason I'm not buying it is because it's got 10 mattes in it, and I'm not a matte heavy girl. I love like equal ratio in shimmers and mattes, so I'll probably switch it up to the shades that I want in there anyway, and use it for a while and see if I like the colour story. If I like it, who knows, maybe in Black Friday sale I'll get it, but at this moment in time I'm not going to be paying £64 for a palette that I'm feeling meh about. I loved the colour story when I first saw it. I was the one that was telling my friends I'm going to buy it. It was like the grungier sister to the Natasha Denona Gold, I thought, but when I saw that my friend Amy had bought it, and I'd seen, obviously she showed it to me close up in real life, I'm like, that's only got 5 shimmers though. I'm not going to get a palette that's only got 5 shimmers in it. Anyway, I feel like I've done it better in certain aspects, and that's for me, and for me that happens quite a lot when I'm duping the Vibes. So first of all, let's go into Yama. So Yama is that shade there. So that's our first shade, and if you've got these palettes you'll be able to dupe it as well, or dupe the vibe of it at least. And then the next shade is Zeal, which is where this shade down here is Zeal. I'm loving this autofocus. It's just so clear. I just wish, I mean it's going to be a nice sunny day, but it's still early, so yeah, it's a bit dull at the moment. So that's Zeal. Let's put them together like this so you can see it a bit better. Yeah, like that. Shall we zoom in a bit as well? Right, so that's that, and then right, so the next shade is coming from Natasha Denona Gold. So the full size one, not the mini. I did want it to come from the mini, but I can't get it out, and I'm not risking like burning the house down to get an eyeshadow out of the palette. But anyway, it looks like this. We all know what it looks like. Naomi gifted me this, which I'm forever grateful for. So Brass is that one there. The only thing I don't like about this palette is this bit, and the fact that it's like kind of foamy, so it attracts eyeshadow. I don't like that. I suppose I can always just take the eyeshadows out and put them in like a magnetic pan like this if it really irritates me that much. So let's take this one out. Brass. Right, what's up next? Right, so next we're going into the Triochrome. This is one of my favourite palettes. My mum got me this a couple of years ago. And then we're going to go into Vert. So Vert is this shade here. Look how beautiful that is though, guys. So that goes there. And then Colourpop Fade Into Hue. So that's what mine looks like. It's already got one shade missing from it, but we're going to go into this sequin shade here. It's called Designer. I mean, look at that focus. You can see the writing on everything. You can see the writing on everything. Oops, I've got two off. The magnet's that strong. It's brought me two. Yeah, so I was just saying, you can see the shade names and everything. Normally when I just film with the video camera side of it, it's not that clear. Right, so that's a Designer. So that's the first row. That's what it's looking like. And I'm bound to get some people in the comments saying, oh, I don't think it looks like it. I'm bound to be getting some people in the comments saying, oh, I don't think it looks like it at all. But it's not meant to be so similar. It's just meant to be kind of getting that vibe of the palette, which I think it is. So next, we're going back into the Triochrome. And then we're going in with this shade here, Scrap. I mean, what can you do? Unless you've got the money to go out and buy the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, and then what's the point in duping it anyway? You know, I don't really see the point in that. And then we're going into Glam. Oh, I need that one open. That one needs to be closed. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get any more of those like little mini palettes. I always thought that you could make your own self-made palette like you can do with these. So we're going in with the shade here, the outer eyelid, because that's the darkest one really. So yeah, and I don't really have too many cool tone palettes. I need to use this more though, get a feel for it. My hands are a mess already. Then we're going back in with Zendo. So we're going back in now with this shade here, Balance. Right, then we're going in with the Triochrome. I think they've got mixed up, have they? Hang on, let's have a look. No. So I'm glad I've written them down because I wouldn't remember where they went. So now we're going in with Iron. Then we're going in with Scarab. Oh my gosh, it's my favourite shade. Now this one is nicer than the one in the Yucca palette. It's just so beautiful, and it's a Triochrome. And this colour is very, very grungy, and I've always wanted to get a little bit more use out of it anyway, so yeah. I might do a week with this palette, you know. In the next Shop My Stash, I mean, I'll use it for a live, but in the next Shop My Stash, use it for a week or two, and just really get to grips if I would like the Yucca palette or not. What else? No, that's... Is it right? Yeah, it's right, sorry. So this is the first two rows in the palette, what it's looking like. Right, so next up is back into the gold. It's a lot of chopping and changing, and it really just does take a bit of dedication, because you're like, it would be just easier to buy it. But if you're on a financial no buy or low buy, it's not really easier to buy it then, is it? Right, so now we're going in with Log. Right, now I'm looking at this. I'm sure there was kind of a mustard shade like this in it. I might have to switch some shades around. But we're going in with Log, which is this shade here, I think. Yeah, it is. So let's put that in. And again, it's took 2 shades out. Let's get a wipe. Okay, so that's Log. Then I'm going in with Bonus Points from Fade Into Hue. So Bonus Points is this Marigold. I don't have a Marigold shade, so we're taking it out of here. Then I'm going in back into the Natasha Denona Gold for Lime Chrome. Now I know which one Lime Chrome is because it's my favourite. Again, this is a duochrome one. So we'll go into that. Why does it keep picking up 2 shades? I know why, because it's a strong magnet. I'm actually looking forward to swatching it. I've not swatched it yet. Then we're going into the Triochrome palette for Plutonium. So this is kind of a marigold shade, but yeah, we're going to go in with that. And then the last shade is from the Zendo, and that shade is Mantra. So it's this green here. Okay, so I've gone off Amy Loves Makeup swatches. Can't deny the packaging is really pretty. Like on the swatches though, that looks like a true marigold, like from the Colourpop. Let's see. Yeah, right, so this one's Colourpop, that one's Triochrome. That one does look a lot. I don't feel like I need both of them then in the palette. But they look pretty, don't they? Them 2 shades together. Right, let's take this one out a second. Let's put that there. Where did I find that shade? Can't remember. Wasn't that one? Sure it was in one of the bigger palettes, wasn't it? Yeah, this one here. I really like that one. It's like a mustard brown. Let's bring that out. It's probably not even in this palette, but it looks nice, I think, and makes it even more grungier. Let's see. Right, so I feel like it's in the wrong spot. Because we've done it all now, I feel like this is in the wrong spot. I feel like those 2 should switch places. So let's take that out, put that there. I'm going to have to write these shades down and put that there. And then I feel like that's perfect. This is our colour story. What do you think, guys? Isn't that pretty? Do you want to see swatches? Do ya? I'll show you swatches. Yes, we've used 4 Natasha Denona palettes to get this colour story, which I don't think is too bad. And like I said, it's not going to be an exact replica or anything. Just as close as I personally can get it within my collection. We'll do it up this side. I think what I'll do, right, so that's the first shade. I might just do row for row, and then you can see it on my hand. I think I've got this wrong, this second shade. If I've got any of the shades wrong, that one's a bit patchy. We can change them up, hopefully. But like I said, I'll probably be moving some of these mattes out because I'm more of a shimmer girl. And then there's this brass shade. Oh, look at that though, guys. That's beautiful. Oh, we've still got one from Colourpop. I think it's the shade Designer. Oh, I love that grungy green. It certainly will give me a chance to use these eyeshadows because they've not been used. I mean, they got used when I originally got the palettes. This is the thing with me, I used them once for videos. It's like I buy makeup for videos to make for you guys, and it's silly. This is why I want to stop doing it and concentrate more on project panning. So that's what those 5 look like. Let me look at Amy's video. No, this one here should be more khaki green. I think the rest are okay, but do I have like a khaki green available? If not, I'll just keep that in. It's no big deal. Don't think I do. I mean, I could get one out of the Colourpop Child palette, I guess. That's khaki green though. This one from the Triochrome. Let me just have a look at the seconds. Yeah, there's a lot of them kind of shades, those khaki green shades. I mean, is there any need for so many? What am I going to do then? Let's have a look what's in the Child. I really didn't want to start messing around with round pans. There's that one we could take out. I didn't realise there was so much missing. They could be anywhere. I think they're in like my Mel Thompson and Sydney Grace kind of dupe for the retro. Let's take Little Frog out. Put that there. And where's this one come from? Zendo. Let's put that back. That's Zeal. Right, so now we need to take, because it's brown, we need to take that off. And then we can swatch the Colourpop one. Things you have to do. I was going to do it anyway, and then Morag asked me to do it, so I said I'd do it for her. So swatching Little Frog now. Yeah, I think that's unique to that row anyway. So that's the first 5 shades. So that's the first row. Let's take them off. So again, it's 2 shades from Colourpop palettes. Right, and I need to write down that Colourpop Little Frog shade, just so I know to put it back there. Okay, next row. So we're going in with another deeper, what looks like another deeper khaki green. That's come from the Triochrome. Yeah, it's got more brown in it, I think. So that's that one. Then that shade from the Glam palette, it's the Outer Eyelid. Oh, those 2 shades would go really nice together. And that's really metallic as well. Then we've got like this mustard one from the Gold. Dijon, that's what it was called. Pretty. Then I think this one's, I think it might be no, it's Iron, I-O-N. That's the bright green. I don't think it's as bright as the shade that's in the Yucca palette, but I don't think it's far off either. And the last shade is Scarab. Guys, it's beautiful. Much more beautiful than any shade in that Yucca palette anyway. And that shade would be beautiful. I might use them shades in the live. So that's the second row. And now we're just on to the third row. So this one I think is Log from the Gold palette. I'm sure it is actually. Because my hand's wet, it's gone patchy, it's not the eyeshadow. Log. The next one's Plutonium, which is like that marigold shade. Now that's a lot darker than in the pan, but yeah, that's beautiful. Then we've got Lime Chrome, my favourite shade from the Natasha Denona Gold. It is a little bit sheer, but I feel like I'll be able to build it up. Oh my gosh. And I feel like this is better than anything that I would come across in the Yucca palette as well. These are coming out of like £100 eyeshadow palettes though, so they should be good. And then the next one, I can't remember, I think it might be Balance, is it? Shade 14. No. It's definitely come out of the Zendo though, hasn't it? Yeah, it's Balance. So I know my Natasha Denona palette's better than I thought I did. And that's that one. And then this one is Mantra from Zendo. Oh, that's smooth. And that's the third and final row. It's a beautiful colour story I've created. I'm actually really liking it. Is it an actual dupe? No, I feel like it's better, guys. Yeah, I feel like mine's better. That's Amy's. Yeah, that's Amy's there. I just feel like mine's better because I've got like Triochromes in there and Duochromes, and it's just an absolute stunner of a palette. I can't wait to use it. I don't know when I'm going to use it, but I can't wait to use it and show you guys in a live video just how beautiful it is. It's Wednesday today. I don't think I'll be doing a live today. I'm not feeling very well. These antibiotics that I'm taking haven't agreed with me. So I don't think I'm going to be doing a live till Saturday, and that will be a week that I've left it again, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I feel like I'll probably use that on Saturday for you guys. Stunning is all I'll say. So yeah, we've done everything. I managed to dupe it, I feel like. The only thing that's throwing me off is this round one here. I hate round shades in with square shades. I wish I could have duped the entire palette with Natasha Denona singles, but it's such a unique palette, this Yucca palette, that I just couldn't. I only had to take 2 Colourpop singles, so I'm happy with that. I mean, like 10 mattes is a lot to find within your collection. So like I said, I'll probably put some shimmers in like, it looks quite unique now because like we've got this lighter khaki shade and this darker one, and then to be honest it doesn't look like there's that many shades I could switch out, but I'll have a play with it, and then I might put a couple more shimmers in it just how I like it and how I'd you know, create it. And if I do that, I'll do another video and I'll just show you what would be my perfect Yucca palette. So this is the one that I've duped the vibes off, that is currently out there at the moment, and then maybe in a couple of months I'll do another version of it. So thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, makeup content, commentary content, please do like this video. It helps my channel so much. It really does help my channel grow, and I massively appreciate it so much. Please share, comment, and if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. That would mean a lot to me as well. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.